if I'm not back in time.
Yeah. It's not playing.
Closing is always easy when you're in
Misty?
Cardone U.
Can you hear?
We
Oh,
role play with Grand
oh, it is.
Cardone's team. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, in FLC. Closing is better with appointment setters. You'd better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, and that you can quote me in FLC. We welcome the newbies gladly. We know there's so much to learn. We've got your back for a lifetime. There's no need for concern. Just look at the world around you. There's deals to close everywhere. And if you face an objection, what would Jabari say? In FLC, in FLC, objections are easy. If you don't believe me, I have to agree. We can role play at any time. To disagree, that is a crime. We're practicing to get the cha-chings in FLC, in FLC. Since we started training, our leads ain't complaining. They're so happy. Da, 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 da. We get to role play with Big Brother Dave. We've got Coach Sean, the best coach ever born in FLC. All of our closers, they keep their composure. 10x is the goal, Uncle G, well he knows. We've got the spirit, and you've got to hear it. We're FLC.
Wahoo! I love it.
Hoo-ha, hoo, hello. I had to unmute myself. I was like, oh, not ready to speak yet. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome back. I'm so excited. This is part 5 of 100 Ways to Stay Motivated. So yeah, we've been training. We've been going through this list as a team. We really want to share it with you guys because it's gold. It's really good. And we've got a special guest. Toril is back in the FLC Hangout. We're so happy to have you. Hello. Would you like to quickly introduce yourself for anyone who hasn't heard of you yet? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah.
It is FLC, so it's fine.
Well, actually, we're streaming not just in the Smile group, and we're also on FLC, the Freedom Lifestyle Creators Circle, creators, and on my YouTube channel. So you're getting more broader people are seeing you. So there probably will be people who have never seen you before.
Good. I'm glad. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm very appreciative to be here all the time. Whenever I get the opportunity, I reached out to Misty and I'm like, Misty, have the day off. Let's do this. And so it's been a while and I've been away. And for those that don't know me, I've been with FLC since 2020. And I'm really, grateful for the journey of being part of FLC and also being able to enjoy this incredible family. If I hadn't been able to take the step to invest in myself, then I wouldn't have met the likes of this incredible souls that are sitting here with you guys on a weekly basis. And also, it has taken me on a journey of discovering a lot about myself. And I think self-discovery is a really vital part of your journey of establishing what it is that you really want to stand for and what it is that you want to do with your life. We all come from some place, and we all have a lot of baggage behind us, but it is about letting go of all those baggages. So that's what Tinku is all about, and that's my nickname here in the virtual world. My name is Toro Master, but a lot of people call me Tinku, and Tinku is about just creating a space of positivity. It's about success and peace, and it's about understanding that you are a limitless being, and that you have many possibilities ahead of you, even though it may not look like it initially. But it's about being in places and spaces like FLC that you get to know the incredible possibilities that you do have. So yeah, thank you very, very much for having me here today again.
Well, thank you for being here. We love having you. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm so excited. So how it's going to work for anyone watching is we have a massive list, 100 ways list of how to stay motivated. This is tips that we're learning from the best of the best, the people who know what they're talking about. They've tried and errored this stuff. And we're just going to go through the list. We're going to talk about them. Some will have deeper discussions than others. But if you are watching either live or the replay, I would recommend pen and paper just to jot down some of the things so you remember it after the live. So should we get started?
Sure. So Toro, I'd like to add on to what you said. It is vital that we, self-discovery and self-improvement is so much a big part of everything that encompasses who we are, and makes such a big impact on what we do with our lives and how we show up and help other people, right? And lately I've had quite a few people say, well, I'm really having a hard time staying motivated. How do I mean, I'm sure you guys get that too. How do you stay motivated? How do you stay disciplined and do this? And it's not always easy, but when you take as many of these ways, 100 ways as you can, and you apply them, and you really embrace what they do and realize that it's not trying to force yourself into something. Like I always say, you don't want to diet, right? Because if you're on a diet, you're forcing yourself to do something you really don't want to do, and you're going to fail. 100% of the time you're going to fail if you're on a diet because you're forcing it. But if you rethink that and change the mindset and think, okay, I want a lifestyle change. So what can I add or take away or change in my lifestyle that I'm going to be comfortable with and it's going to really work for me? That's where the success lies. That's where it comes in, and it's like, bam, oh my God, I did that. You know what I mean? You're like, that was so much easier than I thought. And I wasn't forcing myself. I wasn't denying myself, chocolate. I love my chocolate. I'm not letting go of that. I don't care what the diet is. I'm not letting go of my chocolate. I don't know about you guys. But when you do things, even if you have something you really love doing, but you know what, that's not really the best thing I should be doing at this point, maybe do it a little bit more in moderation. And then, because if it's something you really love and you're passionate about, you will always come back to it. And if that is the case, then maybe you should be making that more the focus. Making that, you know what I mean? So that probably doesn't make sense, but it does.
Yeah, no, it completely does. And I just want to add a little something as well before we start, is it does take time and it takes patience. And these things are habits that you're not going to see the results from them straight away. Like some, yeah, you will. Easy. No, it won't. Like these are Seb. So hello, Seb. Hello, Chavara, by the way. Thank you so much for being here. Seb has this amazing book that he recommended, Atomic Habits. And so I've started it. I haven't finished, but it does take time to build a habit. So you have to be patient. You will reap the rewards later on. You just might not see it straight away. So, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Yes. So this first one we're going to get into is something that I'd like to know your opinion on this, Toral, because you still have little ones at home. Josie and I don't have any more little ones, and Josie just hasn't even gotten started yet. She's still busy being, amazing Josie and having fun. But this one is one from Grant Cardone, and I guess he does this with his girls because he's got little ones at home. And it is have a 30-minute finance meeting with the whole family. I think it's every week or every month?
Mm.
It's the more often you have that, and you have that 30-minute financial meeting with your kids and your husband and everybody, like everybody's in on this, and the kids know what those finances are, it not only makes them more responsible with their finances, it makes them aware of what your finances are as the parents, and this is what we can afford, and this is what we can't afford, and this is what's necessary, and this is what's not. You know what I mean? So I like that one.
I think that's so vital. I think coming from a place where, I found myself in very much of a huge debt. In fact, it was so oblivious to me that I didn't know about it. And when I did find out about it, it was pretty crazy. And in all of that, I needed to sustain myself with my two kids and, find ways to make the money go far. And also, have this, we had this goal to move over to America. So the financial conversations needed to happen. So it's like what Grant Cardone is sharing is really, I think it's an important aspect that many of us, we don't think is necessary. And you were saying, what's your take on that, because you have two kids, and I feel like many parents feel like they need to take on the burden of finances only, and they don't bring their kids into the fold of those conversations because they feel that it's not necessary for the kids to know about it, firstly, or let kids be kids. And I don't know if you've heard that in your life, because my parents always portrayed that kids need to be kids. But I feel like in that process, kids can learn from you, and kids always learn from you anyway. So if you don't have those vital conversations, then how are they going to learn? They're not learning these skills from school. They're not learning. I think nowadays some of the schools are implementing certain ways of bringing financial education to the kids, but it's not yet enough, right? It's not like where a child of 14 years will be able to say, hey, I know how to make money. My 14-year-old now is so keen on making money. It's like he is so he wants to be adaptable. He wants to know how it is that he can create something without feeling like controlled by a system. And so I think for me, I've started implementing that. I always have financial conversations with my children, even from the age of 5, 6, and 7. They are still able to understand. You can have it in a fun way, so that they can see what that looks like. Even if you're playing a game, and that's what I used to do with them. I used to play games with them. At one point in time, my son was making like in a week in South Africa, he was making like 500 Rand a week, just selling pop shots and sweets and going to the kids out there. And I was like, entrepreneur at heart.
That's awesome. That's amazing. That's because I think it's so important that the earlier you bring your kids on and you start teaching them about money. Yeah, I think that it's good that they have those programs in schools, because they had financial math in when I was in high school. I wasn't allowed to take it. My teachers told me no, which was kind of beyond me. I needed it. But I think when we do it at home and we really take on that responsibility and teach our kids at home the responsibilities of money and how to handle that and how to earn their own money and stuff, I think we can go more in depth with them, and it brings them. I don't want to say it makes them more responsible, as in I want them to grow up quicker. That's not the idea. The idea is to set themselves up in a position to where later in life, when they are more responsible with and more mature with everything and in their life, later on in their life, that they have more potential to succeed. And like you said, have more of a mindset of an entrepreneur. Yes, they can have the entrepreneur mindset when they're younger, and don't deny them that. Let them run with that. However, you also want them to be able to still remain a kid, and because there's that balance. But then later in life, that is going to go so much further than if you wait until they're teenagers or even young adults to start all that stuff. Then I think you're more apt to set them up for failure than if you were to begin younger. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know what you guys think.
I agree.
I think this is a very niche one as well. It is very niche, but I think it can also be, I can't think of the exact word, but be for everyone, because you might be thinking, how's this motivational? If you have kids, if you're doing it with the kids, that will really motivate them. They'll understand money. And I think the biggest thing for me growing up, I was scared of kind of working and going after my own money because I didn't understand it at all. I didn't know how it worked. But even for just you, I think even before Grant Cardone had kids, he would sit down with himself and look at his finances. Where is everything going? What percentage is going to where? And he found that really motivational as well, because he knows where he can make adjustments and he knows where he can grow. And so, yeah, it's slightly niche, but it can relate to everyone.
Yeah. Well, and I think when you're teaching your kids, you're also learning it yourself, re-solidifying that for yourself, which helps.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add something there. It's like I've had experiences with my children where I told them to do certain things and they never implemented it. It's like sometimes you have a conversation, it's like you're saying to somebody, okay, you do it this way, but they won't implement it. The only way sometimes I feel some people will feel the need to implement certain things is when you actually sit with them and show them what you do. And then when they have it in their hand, they also need somebody to sit with them and say, okay, now do it like this. This is how you structure it. For me, I mean, a simple example, when I was in a position where I needed to really check what I was doing with my money, I broke down my expenses into like 4 envelopes. So it was envelopes for each week. What is it? I'll put them. I will make cash bundles rather than using my cards. Rather have cash bundles. Put it in envelopes. Each week you have, say you have $200, or for me at that time it was 500 rand, and in 500 rand I'd have to then see what is it that I'm using that money towards, which expenses, how does that look like. It's really like you have to literally go to details, and when you go to details of your expenses, your finances, you find that you will see so much more that you can save on, or that you can actually put away for investment. And it's not about just having a saver's mentality, but saving is important if you want to invest, if you want to do more with your money, if you want your money to grow. There needs to be an aspect of saving. But one thing I found, I had a saver's mentality. I felt like, oh, if I just save, everything will be fine. But I needed to flip that switch also to say, hey, I need to take this money and also make that money work for me, because that's what we are here for. We want to live the freedom lifestyle. We want to have that additional income to say, okay, this is going to be here for us. That also keeps us motivated to keep going. It keeps us motivated to say, okay, I can do more with this, right? And when you see the end product and you see that, hey, this is actually working. For me, it took me like 2 to 3 months before I could say, hey, this is actually working. Wow, I can't believe it, So it's like simple things like that. Do simple strategies. One of them is the envelope style. Take money and just put it in your wallet. It makes you feel like you have money. Whoa.
Yeah. But yeah, you really want to have that 30-minute money management finance meeting with your family the entire family together. At least, I believe in this case, it's at least every week. I think Cardone says he does it every week. So everybody's on board every week and knows exactly how much money everybody has that's available and where they're at, so they don't overspend, or they're doing what needs to be done so they can have things paid the way that they need to be paid instead of just going out and blowing whatever. So everybody's aware of what's going on. He also says have a monthly goal meeting with your family. So when you're having one of those 30-minute financial meetings, have a meeting with the kids or with the entire family and set up goals for the family as a family. Okay, this is like you all want to go on a trip or a vacation. Okay, this is what we need to do financially in order to put money away so we can go do this. You know what I mean? So have a goal meeting with them once a month.
Yeah, that's so important. I feel like, even Diwali was gone. This year was a very crazy year financially. I
think it was for a lot of us.
Yeah. It's like you don't anticipate certain things to happen. It's like for me, it was the cataract operation. And you do have certain plans in place, like Grant Cardone shares, have those plans. What is it that you want to achieve as a family? Your kids want certain things. My kids at the moment are in that gaming phase. So it's like, oh, can I have that computer? Or can I have that, device or whatever it is? They love technology because they see the fun in it in terms of the gaming spirit. And so when they go out, they also have kids also have their own requirements, right? And you don't want to be in a space to always say no to them. I know how that feels. It doesn't feel great. It feels really crappy, when you can't offer your kid what they like. So, but one thing I can say is that if you have these conversations and you are feeling financially strapped, and I'm not saying that everybody feels like they're so abundant, because it's about the mind, right? The mind has to also shift. So it's in those moments to really have those conversations with your children as well, to say, hey, look, this is where we are at. Let's work together to make more, or to make this work so that we can have what we want, so that we can not feel like we limited and we have lack of resources. And so those were the very difficult conversations initially, but then it does work. It does get better. It really does get better. And like this year, I can say, even though with my cataract operation, and yes, we had to also cut back on certain wants. Remember,
Mhm.
what is the want and what is a need? Because when you figure that one out, it's so amazing. It's really powerful, because when you know, oh, hey, this is just actually a need, and this is actually just a want. I don't really need it, but I just
Mhm.
want it. And so with my kids, I give them like 3 months. I say, okay, if this is really what you need, then in 3 months' time, we'll get it for you. You need to also give yourself some break, in between, like, hey, do I really want to get this right now, or is it something that I can wait for, and maybe in 3 months' time I can review it again, or something like that. So yeah, it's very important to set those goals. And come Diwali, we were able to actually have a nice, Diwali outing and spend some money on ourselves, do something that we've never done before. So that can be an experience, that can be something that we've enjoyed together, because we've worked together to make that happen. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are doing that.
It's like Christmas. So come Christmas, you do something for yourself and your family.
So the next one is identify what you're passionate about. So a lot of times when you want to stay motivated, you really want to identify what you're passionate about. And this one is hard for me because I like to do a lot of different things. I'm kind of one of those scatterbrains. I start something. I will usually finish it because it annoys me if it's not done. But like if once I get done with one project, then I'm like, okay, I did that. Let's move to something else. I want to try something else. So there's so many things I like to do, and nailing it down to just one passion is really hard for me. So yeah, find out what you're passionate about, and then really how can I use this passion that I love doing, that I'm so into? Can I monetize this and make this into a business? How can I show or help other people that have the same kind of passion or that want to try this?
Nice
Yeah.
one.
This one I love because it's so important. And I could talk about it for ages, but I won't because we're halfway through and we're just on the third one, so I'll be quick. But I'll it's so important. This is sorry, a tip that I will give to anyone who comes to me, as well as find your why. That's also really important. But you're not going to want to do anything towards your goal if you're not waking up every day excited to do it. You want to find something that you're excited to talk about every day. So yeah, and that's it. That what's it called? Skept. The Skept is something that FLC is really good at. What Shabara is really good at helping people find, and she helped me find it. So if you're feeling challenged right now in that area, hit us up. We'll help you.
That's what we're here for, right? So really quick before we let you respond to this, like Josie said, if you're finding that you're having a hard time figuring out what Skept is or what you're passionate about, get on the Freedom Lifestyle Challenge. It's a free challenge coming up. It's, what is it, 9 days or 7 days plus 2, which makes it 9. But we have all been on it, probably multiple times. We keep coming back to it because it is so powerful, so life-changing. We learn something new all the time. And as much as the FLC has been changing, there's bound to be new things that are updated in the challenge. So those of you who have been on the past ones, get in on this at this time, because I'm almost positive there will be new changes and new learnings. So
So excited.
yeah, the link is right here below on the screen, freedomlifestylechallenge.com. So get in on that. It's starting soon. I think the first pre-training is the 30th of this month, and then it starts on December 5th. So it goes from December 5th to, is it the 11th or the 12th? Somewhere around there. But it's
a week, whatever a week is.
Challenge is the best thing that you can do for yourself. There is nothing better than that. And Skept has been also one aspect of teachings. There are many aspects, and yes, I'm sure this FLC will be there's always new ways of being better, of living a freedom lifestyle for yourself, and those are always shared by Jabari. Jabari is amazing at that, and I think that's what I really enjoy about being part and parcel of FLCs, because you're always going to know and you're always going to learn something new. No matter how many times you're going to do, you may think it's the same challenge, but something new will definitely pop up and it's going to be for you. But it's about taking that first step. So yeah, if you are available to be part and parcel of this challenge, please go for it.
Yes, go for it. It's going to be
free.
Yeah,
7 days free mentorship.
Yes.
And you
by Jabara herself.
You figure out your own Skept, and you
figure
out what that looks like that will be your passion. And it's so funny that you guys brought this up, because when I started doing FLC the first time in 2020, I was really determined about what it was that I was going to be doing. I've been in travel industry for 20 years plus, and for me it was like, how am I going to shift my travel business into the online space? Then I realized, hey, actually I've already been doing that. So because travel is very much online, and there's a lot there's many aspects to travel that goes on now. But what was so interesting is when I got onto FLC and learned about SCAPT and learned about the fundamentals of being in of going into online business, I realized that, hang on, maybe this isn't my only passion. Maybe there's more to this that I need to, look into and embrace. And that for me was a huge change. It made a change in the way I thought about things. It made a change in the way that I wanted to start developing my freedom lifestyle. And so yeah, you'll be very surprised. Completely
Yeah. When you
surprised.
get, I think when everybody gets on the challenge, they go in trying to think, okay, this is going to be very business and very stark and very serious. It's actually really fun.
It's
And you
fun.
not only learn a
It's
lot about
really
business, but you learn a lot about yourself and where you want to go. So get in on this
it's so
challenge,
much
guys.
fun.
You will not regret it. It's going to be life changing.
I look at these two ladies. I
Yeah.
mean, geez, they're
And there's,
rocking it, guys.
not just here, but other people who have been on the challenge have even made money while they're on the challenge and learning stuff from it. So
Yes.
get in.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so let's go on to the next one so we don't so we can get a few more of these in here. So Grant Cardone also says, picture what you want at the end of the deal. So if you're going in to do a business deal with somebody and you want to close them, you want to get them to purchase your product or your course or whatever you're doing, right? You want to go in with the mindset of, this is what I want out of it. I want to close them. I want them to purchase. Not that you're trying to say, hey, like I'm greedy and I want your money, but you're wanting to go in and do what's best for that client. And if your product or your course or whatever is what's best for them, then you want to go into that deal with that in mind. This is closed already. Let me think about the next one. Right?
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
No.
No, not at all. This is something that I had to learn in my journey of sales because at first I had that mindset about salespeople that they're pushy, and I don't want to pressure people, but then it's selling and serving, right? And it's your duty. Success is your duty, and the success is closing the person. If your product is really going to help this person, which it should, if this is what your business is about, it is your duty to close them on it. And it's not about the money. It's not about you. It's not about the money. It's about them and the benefits that they're going to receive from being with you and taking this guidance from you. So yeah, that's really important to get in your brain, which I had to.
I think intent is very important. Yeah, like yes, in sales we do. Some people can be pretty salesy, and you're like, yeah. I must be honest. I've had sales calls before FLC, and I was always frustrated with them. Let's be honest, guys. When you get somebody on the call, oh ma'am, I just want to talk to you about this insurance policy, and you're like, hang on. But
I'm with
it's
you.
like switching the conversation right now. It's actually having that understanding that there's a different side to this whole thing, and now that I'm also working in the working environment, and actually I'm in a sales position, right? We having to sell something to somebody. We're wanting to, although they're calling us for some kind of product, but then you also want to sell them a bit more so that they can feel like either this is more beneficial for them, or either this makes it this allows them to have that amazing holiday that's like wow, and you just add the cherry on the cake, because you've just made it more wow for them, so that's the thing that you got to learn to appreciate about wanting to be wanting to have your own business, wanting to participate in that avenue of sales. If you don't want to do that, then how are you going to create more for your business? So
Mhm.
it's about the intent that you're going to put out there. It's like if you put out the good intention, like Jabaria always shares, you do whatever good it takes. And so it's important that you understand that you're not just here to make that money, you're also here to make an impact on somebody. And that impact should be a positive impact. It should be one that they feel like they've hit the jackpot, because they're growing, they're learning, they're becoming better for themselves. And that's what has been a great, huge comeback for me in being part and parcel of this growth journey. Because the people that are standing in these spaces, they're doing something to impact me, to impact my life, and that's why I'm so appreciative of it, and that's why I continue to stand for it, because I've seen the change in myself. So yeah, it's very important. It's very important. Sales is like one big yes now.
Yes,
I
say
love
yes to
that.
everything.
I love that. Yeah. It's it's so important, and it sales can be scary. People have a bad conception of sales. Um, but and you might think, even if you have a business, oh no, I'm not a salesperson. You're selling every day. You're whether you title yourself as a salesperson or not, you are selling every day. Whether you're in business, whether you're on the street, whether you're convincing your mum to go to this restaurant, and I use mum because I that's who I spend most of my time with.
You can
Um,
budget with that.
but but you are selling every day, and especially if you have a business or you're thinking about starting a business, you you are going to be selling, and but it's not scary. Like it's okay, and you can learn how to sell. If you have the same mindset as me, you don't want to pressure people. You don't want to really like feel like you're leeching onto these people and like, give me your money kind of thing. There's you can learn how to sell, and if that is something you're currently struggling with, hit me or Misty up. We can get you more training on this because it is amazing and it's so much more depth to it than you'll even start to think about. So yeah, comment me or message us privately and we can we can hit you up.
Yeah. And if you're sitting there thinking, I'm not in sales, I can't do this, I can't do that, you're doing a really good job at selling us on the fact that you can't sell. You're doing
Mhm.
amazing. Good job.
Yeah.
The next one is focus on the future, not on the past, because we really want to be focused forward, right? Yeah, we want to learn from the past, but we don't want to live there because the past is where the mistakes are. We want to learn from that, but we want to keep moving forward to improve what's ahead of us, not to stay in that position where we're like, everything's going wrong. I can't do this. This is too hard. Bull hockey. You can do anything.
Yeah,
Change your mindset. Get out there. Think, you have to really change this and have everything in alignment and really move forward because you can't live in the past. Like, what is it?
everything starts here.
Yeah. What is that? Rafiki and the Lion King where he hits Simba in the head? He's like, how? What was that for? It doesn't matter. It was in the past. It's like, but
Yeah,
that hurt. You're right. The past can hurt. And I don't remember what after that, but it's like,
yeah,
So let's
I
not
love
live
that
there.
one.
Let's move forward.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, the
But
past can definitely hold you back. I feel like it's not only in business, but even in other areas of your life, relationship wise, or even even in your own health. If you holding on to certain things of the past that you felt were done badly towards you, or you will see that also show up in your body. Ailments. I used to have such bad backache, guys, like huge backache, and it was crazy. Like I used to wonder, what the hell am I doing? Like, why is this backache there? Even though I was doing certain exercises, and then I started doing these affirmations of just letting go of allowing my past to be, and knowing that it doesn't say much about me right now. It was what it was. And when I started to implement that, I found that my backache started getting better. It started easing off. I was feeling better. I was being more productive. I started even doing more of my different exercise routines. So it's it is important that the past is being released. It's something to learn from, but it's not something to hold on to.
Yeah. Don't hold on to it.
Yeah, I think Misty has shared that as well in many of our conversations.
Yeah, I've had to let go of a lot of things, and I've just decided I'm not carrying any more luggage with me.
Yeah, it's too
Water
heavy.
pouch maybe, and that's it. Let's go.
There was this one workshop that I went for. It's a mind power workshop, and in that workshop, they have this analogy about the past, and so they speak about this guy, and he's like walking through the town, and he's picking up all of these chairs, like old chairs, and he's picking them up and he's moving through the town, and everybody's asking him, like, why are you carrying all these chairs on your back? And he's like, no, like they wondering, like, are you going to use this? Are you, why do you keep walking? And then when he comes around again, he's still got the old chairs, and then he's got the new ones that he's found on top of that. and and he's like, no, I just, I feel like if I carry it around and it's not cluttering everywhere, I'll just keep carrying it around. I'll keep it with me all the time. And so he met this sage at the end of at one of his stops. And the sage said, okay, well, he said, no, I'm very hungry. I need to eat. And the sage said, well, if you want to eat and stuff, I can help you. You can come in and eat. But I need you to leave those chairs out there, because he wouldn't do anything without those chairs on his back. Chairs had to be there. and so he said, okay, I guess like for 5 minutes, I'm just going to come in and eat, and then I will get my chairs again. I have to get my chairs. I cannot live without my chairs now. I'm too attached to my chairs. And so the sage said, yeah, come in and eat. And so he let go of the chairs. After a very long time, he let it go, and he sat down and he ate. And for the first time, he felt like he had a good meal. He felt nourished. He felt fresh. He felt like he was ready to, face the world again with his chairs. Obviously, the chairs were still going to be there. And so the sage said, but, can you see the difference that you've just in this 5 minutes by just letting go of those chairs? And as it is, you're not going to do anything with it. You're not going to help anybody with it. So how would you like to just leave it here? Just leave it here with me for a day, and you come back after a day. If you still want your chairs, you can come back and fetch it. And so very reluctantly, he left his chairs and he said, okay, I'll give it a try, but maybe tomorrow I'll come and fetch it. Definitely I'll come and fetch it. And he a week went by, and he came to the sage to say, I'm really feeling bad that I didn't come and fetch the chairs. But the thing is that I'm actually finding that I can do so much more now that I don't have the chairs on my back. So is it possible that you could just utilize those chairs? And the sage is like, fine, I can. But it's only because he had somebody to also help him to see that, hey, this is not really your calling. It's not you don't need to do this. So it's so important to let go of the past. But if you can't do it on your own, find somebody that can help you to do that and to see that it's possible. Because you free yourself of a lot of shit.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. So I'm gonna say this last one, and then we can each comment, and then we'll probably have to wrap it up because we're already almost at 45 minutes. Says keep images of what you want in your environment. So this kind of goes
She's
back
got
to,
that.
yeah, I cut down. So it kind of goes back to, your vision board. You want to surround yourself with what things you want in your environment that you want. Like on my end, I've got like the 3 different vision boards, and I'm transitioning into having things that I want. Like I can go out and find a Hot Wheel of my dream car and have it in my environment someplace where I can see it all the time. Other people are just going to say, why do you have a toy car here? Well, no, that's my dream car. I'm going to drive that. They don't have to, or they don't even have to know why it's there. Just like, because I like it, and that's it. There you go. Or even pictures of vacations you want to have, or maybe your dream house, or something else. Keep something that you want in life in your environment. Keep it present in your visual sites at all times. Like you can't see it, but right there, I have my goals written down. So it's right there next to the door when I'm walking in and out. It's right there above the light switch. So they're always in my face. So what do you guys think? Is there anything you guys do to keep what you want in your environment?
Definitely. Tara, would you like to?
Go ahead, Josie. I was very happy that conversation.
Amazing. Well, I love this one because it's very similar to Remember Your Why, and that is what I love to do. That's what I tell people. I love that one, and that's I think a different form of it. Remember, why are you doing this? Like, what do you want to achieve? What's the end goal in mind? And that can be as small as or as big as I want to move to this country, or I want to have enough money to support family. Like it can be anything. It can be a car, it can be a house, it can be family.
I'm going to try this meal at this restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to meet this person. And just to remind yourself of that constantly and have something, if it helps, write it down daily. Or if it helps more, have it on a vision board, have it on a poster. Just remind yourself every day, why? What's your why? Why are you doing this? And that is something that is so motivating because you can see yourself there. And yeah, as soon as the destination is clear, the path will get a lot clearer too.
Yeah, I so agree with that. For me, I had to, take a lot of my stuff down when I moved to America. And it's now 3 years, and you will see there's like stuff that side, a whole lot of stuff. And that side, I have my vision board. And that side, I have a whole lot of, affirmations. And I feel like when something resonates to you, like even this calendar that I have, it's very motivating. I found this calendar, I don't know how, but it's every month it has a amazing motivational saying. I mean, this month it says, until he extends the circle of his compassion to all living things, man will not himself find peace. And that's by Albert Schweitzer. So it's like you have to put certain things in front of you that's going to always feed your mind and your vision with the kinds of ideals that you would like to see in your life. And if you wanting to do that, then the best way is to have that always around you, and surround yourself by it. And I always find, if I find certain sayings, or if I find certain pictures that I can gravitate towards, I take it and I put it up so that I can see it, so that I can digest it, so that I can understand what does that look like for me. Also, it's not only just about, okay, I just want to gain that material thing. I mean, yes, it's great to have it. Obviously, we want it. We want to drive that Jaguar, guys. That's my dream car. So we want to drive those cars, or we want to experience that certain type of luxury that we've always enjoyed, or we always thought of, like a trip around the world. I'd love to do that. Who is up for a trip around the world? So, something. So those are the things that really keep me going. And what's great about it, when you have kids, you have the kids also reading it, and then they're like, oh, I wonder, and then you have questions being asked, like, what does this mean? Why do you write this? Why do you have this picture up? And you give your own take on it, and next best thing, they're doing their own thing. And you're like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, with kids, more is caught than taught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, that's probably definitely one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We could keep going, but it's been 50 minutes, and I'm sure Josie would like to get to bed.
Yeah.
And Toro, you probably would like to get back to the family.
Well, it's been so good. It's always so much fun. Thank you so much, Toro, for being here with us and sharing your experiences.
You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
You guys also,
You're amazing.
you guys add such value to these conversations, and I learn a lot. Like it's not about you saying that, oh, you've got all these experiences, but it's also about saying that you're open to learning. I learn every day from the people that I participate with. Like today, I've learned a lot. I've learned these 5 steps, or they're going to make a difference in my life. So because I'm going to implement them, I want to make sure that I continue implementing them, and they reiterate the things that we've already learned as well. So I love it.
Thank you so much. And hi, Jamal. Hello. Yeah, thank you for being here. This was part 5 of How to Stay Motivated. If you want to watch the part 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're amazing as well. So go do that. They're still in the group. And yeah, on that note, hope everyone has got some value. And thank you so much to both of you. And let's go. See you next week.
See you guys next week. Thank you so much.
Bye. Enjoy next week. Bye.
Closing is always easy when you're in Cardone U. We role play with Grant Cardone's team. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, in FLC. Closing is better with appointment setters. You'd better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, and that you can quote me in FLC. We welcome the newbies gladly. We know there's so much to learn. We've got your back for a lifetime. There's no need for concern. Just look at the world around you. There's deals to close everywhere. And if you face an objection, what would Jabari say? In FLC, in FLC, objections are easy. If you don't believe me, I have to agree. We can role play at any time. To disagree, that is a crime. We're practicing to get the cha-chings in FLC. In FLC. Since we started training, our leads ain't complaining. They're so happy. We get to role play with Big Brother Dave. We've got Coach Sean, the best coach ever born. in FLC. All of our closers, they keep their composure. 10x is the goal, Uncle G, well he knows. We've got the spirit, and you've got to hear it. We're FLC.